Hello, and many apologies to those of you that tried to log in earlier to watch this as a live session. Unfortunately, some tech issues happened, as it often can do with live video. I couldn't share my screen on Facebook Live going directly, and Zoom unfortunately wouldn't connect to this page. So I'm now here and pre-recording this for you. We'll post this in the group, which is why you're watching it. And if there are Q&A, then please pop them in the comments and I will keep an eye on them over the next couple of days and answer those questions for you. My contact details are also at the end of the session, so if you have a longer question or want to chat about any of the topics today, then please feel free to get in touch with me. This session on finding new customers using Instagram is just one of many presentations that are being delivered by the She Means Business trainers. I did one just a couple of weeks ago on telling your business story using Instagram, so hopefully you can watch any of those individually from any of us trainers in the UK, or pick out the topics that are most relevant for you. So this is a short session. It will be about 30 minutes, perhaps shorter now I'm not doing live Q&A, and it's on the topic of finding new customers for Instagram. So I'm recording this so you can actually see me in the corner, but this is me. I am a chartered marketer. I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Marketing. I've been running my own consultancy and training business since 2011. My background is that I've worked in advertising agencies, I've worked client side as a marketing manager, and today, alongside training, I work directly with clients, B2B and B2C, helping them with traditional marketing planning, as well as specific social media. I do work directly with LinkedIn as one of their online learning instructors, and with Facebook as part of this program, and one of their lead trainers for the Facebook Blueprint, which covers both Facebook and Instagram. And you can find me. Having a unique name often helps. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Luann Wise. So the agenda for today is to cover 3 topics. The first one, to help grow your business, find new customers using Instagram, is about sharing your story. And as I said, there was a whole recording webinar session on that topic just a couple of weeks ago, early in March. So you can find out more on that, but I will be recapping some of the elements here. It's also about building direct connections. A lot of social media is often thought of as posting content, but actually it's when we have the opportunity to speak to people one-to-one that we can build relationships and do business together. And the third part of today's session is about using Instagram to showcase your products and services. This is the bit that you may find easy if you have products. It's the bit that you may find harder if you have a service, but hopefully there's some ideas in this session that will help you. So when you run a small business, marketing is just one of many responsibilities. As a marketer, I still have to do marketing. And what's great about Instagram is that you don't need to be an expert. You can be an expert, but you don't need to be one. It's all about really sharing your story. So storytelling is something that you hear people talking about a lot now. I would say with most things when I'm teaching and training is don't overthink things. Really, it's just about a narrative and telling people what you're doing, what you're working on, where you are, and where you're going. So all it takes is a mobile phone. What is great about Instagram is that there is some functionality coming to the desktop more and more, if that's something that you find easier than a mobile phone. But the reason it's more mobile is because we all have cameras on our phones. Unless you're my mum, most of us do have cameras on our phones now. And Instagram is all about bringing people closer to other people and to the things that they love. Finding inspiration, that is what Instagram is all about. And people do find inspiration from business, particularly small businesses on Instagram, all types of businesses. In fact, 80% of Instagram users do follow a business account. 2 in 3 business account visits are from people that don't follow their account because they find them elsewhere, from the Explore tab, just searching for hashtags, things like that. So there are non-followers that will be engaging with you as well. And 60% of Instagram users say that they learn about new products and services from their Instagram, from their feed and from stories. Two different parts. Did cover that on a previous webinar, but both are really important when it comes to using Instagram. People, as I said, are coming to Instagram to be inspired, to have some downtime, to scroll through and find images that appeal to them. It is a visual platform, which is why some people don't always find it so easy if they have a service. People do find it easy if they have products, because they can take pictures of products. But actually this storytelling is about you as a business owner and going behind the scenes of your business as well, so that people can understand us a little better, just see a bit of personality. That's what people are looking for, because people develop relationships with people and want to dive into knowing more about them, which is why the behind the scenes stuff can work really well. So think about Instagram as the place where you can find people that have interests similar to you, whether it is that you love to clean, whether it is that you are looking for interior products, inspiration, things to buy, ways to decorate, ways to be more productive, articles. There is lots and lots of activity on Instagram for you. And it is, as I said, this place to share your unique story. So the first thing you need to do is take a bit of time to think about, what is your story? Why do you do what you do? Why did you get out of bed this morning? What can you tell people about your day, about what you're working on, what you're planning, what's going on? But always think about, when you're sharing your story, think about the person behind the screen, the target person that you're speaking to, whether that is potential partners to collaborate with, or whether it is people that you want to buy your products and services, because you are sharing your story with them. It is not about you, it is about them and what they need to know from you to potentially do business with you. And just, you know, what is it that they will be interested in? So even though it's your story, you have to think about them and not about you. You can grow your business by reaching new people. That's audience building. We need people to be following our accounts. It's not about huge numbers of people, it's about the right people that are interested in what you're doing, what you're selling, your products and services. And you can do this by building your audience, posting content, using hashtags that people will find, by following other people, in fact, trying to get in front of them so they might follow you back. But ultimately think about how you're using Instagram to communicate with people, whether that is that you're offering customer service, replying to comments, trying to generate appointments and bookings. You can use Instagram to just spread the word about your business and drive sales. You don't need to spend money. You can, of course, do paid for advertising. I'm not going to cover that in today's session to keep it short, but paid reach will help you reach even more people. But I would always say, try and test things and do it organically, which is for free first, and then put your money behind what works best. Okay? And the thing about Instagram, it is the place to be creative. Now, you may not think that you are hugely creative. My best tip for that is just to look at what lots of other people are doing. Follow other people of your interests, follow other people that are doing something similar to you, and just see what they're doing and what you like. You don't need to be the best photographer in the world to tell a great story, but just take some time to think about that story that you do want to tell, what your audience are going to be interested in, and just gather some ideas from other people to see what you feel comfortable with and what might work best for you. And the great thing about Instagram is three to 5 posts a week will be plenty. It's much better to be consistently posting rather than being really enthusiastic for a day and doing loads of stuff and then not doing anything else for a week. So do think about how you can develop a calendar activity that you can just be consistent with when you're posting. And here's just 3 accounts. You may have seen me share these before if you've watched any of my content or attended any sessions with me, but 3 accounts that I just really love for different ways, in that they have planned their social media feed on Instagram Martha Brooke London, which is personalised stationery, you can see that she has this core theme of pink running through her Instagram feed, mixtures of text, mixtures of images about her products, but then you'll also see that she's telling stories about herself and her family and what she's doing as well. So just a beautiful feed when you have a look at it. Dishmatic, I'll share, is a client account that I do work on myself. And it really does embrace the trend for hinching and cleaning at home. And we have a great audience of product fans that like to share the images of their products in use in their home, whether it's storing or in use or before or after pictures. So we encourage user-generated content, and we have that to share, but we also mix it up with our own content. As you can see, a kind of grid where it's text, image, which will direct people to the website to read a blog, which will tell them about a competition, share some top tips. So it's very planned, but it engages with the audience and what they want to know, and also the information that we need to get across too. And then the one on the right, at the Silver Spot, is an account that I'm particularly proud of to know Emma, that runs this account. She makes mugs. She makes ceramic mugs herself. She is now doing this full time, having built the business up over the last 12 months. You may say that you only have one product. Emma has one product, but is extending her range. But if you go through her Instagram feed, you can see that she is telling her story of how she's working, that she's starting off, what mugs have come out the kiln, the different stages of her creating these mugs, the names she gives them, the colours she's thinking about, what she's working on. She's just constantly telling us what she's doing in her home studio, to the fact that there are lots of fans building up. And Emma built her audience to over 10,000 followers in less than 10 months without paying for any advertising, simply by being present, by being visible, showing behind the scenes of what she's doing and what she's working on. And just a piece of advice, really, that you could be doing lots of stuff on Instagram, posting content and posting ideas, but to know what's working for you means that you have to look at data. Not a huge amount of data, it's not overly daunting. The tip here is that if you have an Instagram account, you should switch it to a business profile, because when you have a business profile, you will be able to access insights. You access the insights by looking at your own profile, homepage, and where you have the dots or the lines in the top right-hand corner to go into settings. In there, you would also see insights. And the insights you'll see will be the age and the gender of the people that are following you, and how much they are engaging with your different pieces of content, the times of day that they're engaging with it, and their location as well. So whatever you're trying to achieve, to know that it's working or not, the answers will be in your own data. And that answer about which time of day to post as well is in there, because you will see when your audience are most likely to be online, and that's what time of day you want to post. It will be different for everyone, and it may change as you build your audience, because you'll have more data to give you more insights. But it's really worth having a look at. Do more of what is working well for you in terms of your objectives, and maybe test some new things and see what happens there too. There we go. You can see all the data that you would get in Insights. So the next tip really about finding new customers using Instagram is that you do need to connect directly with your community. You need to be posting as if you are talking to a friend, as if you are talking to people as individuals and not as a mass group. And I know from having talked to Emma at the Silver Spot is that that's how she sees it. That's how she writes the captions and the comments and builds her audiences, because she sees them as friends. She sees them as community of similar makers that do what she does, do different types of craft, and just enjoy watching what she's doing. So it's very much about being a community and engaging in that community as well. It's about having two-way conversations, not just posting and running, but just thinking about having a conversation like I kind of am right now with a camera, but I know that you're behind it and that I'm talking to you and hopefully helping you, knowing what the Enterprise Nation audience is made up of. You can use comments, you can use direct messages, you can use videos to engage with people, but it's about really making sure that if you do post something, that you keep an eye out for people sending you messages, that you keep an eye out for people commenting, and that you engage with that. So you don't just post and run, because that's where you're adding value and making people feel engaged with you, that if they've taken the time to write a comment, that they will get a response for you. Have a look at what other businesses are doing is always a great thing to do. How are they responding to things? Particularly right now, as I'm sharing this, we are in lockdown, things have changed. Opening hours have changed, dispatches, deliveries have changed, what people are doing and working on has changed. So really, I encourage people using social media to just be watchers, to watch what other people are doing and get to know what kind of looks like best practice and what looks like something that you would feel comfortable doing in your own style, but at least you have an idea of kind of how it works by being a user of these platforms. Be conscientious, respond to those comments. As I said, don't just leave people if they've taken the time to comment on something, reply back to them. Provide support. If customers are using Instagram direct messages to ask you questions, do check your direct messages and respond to them. People will often send messages directly on Facebook and Instagram because they are looking for a response, and it may be out of working hours as well. So just have your own kind of system for monitoring them. But it's really important if you get messages that you respond to them. Quick replies is something that you might find useful on Instagram if you're starting to get lots of messages. It could be that you are posting the same answer all the time to something. So quick replies is something that you could set up and use. Really easy to set up and then get involved with them. Go to your Instagram profile page, tap that menu icon in the top right hand corner, then click on business and quick replies, and there you will see that you can set up some quick replies so that everything's kind of there ready to go as and when you need to respond to any queries that you get. Do reach out to other businesses as well. This is a place for collaborating and working with others that may be able to support you, recommend you, tag you in when they receive something. I know lots of people are doing collaborations right now around giveaways, for example. It's absolutely a good thing to do that. If you have a product that you think would be great in someone's online gift shop, then why not just send them a message? Tell them about your product or service and just say that it's a fit. But please do make sure that it's a good fit and that you're not doing this in a spammy way. People don't like those kind of approaches, but you know, if you spot someone has a gift store and you make gifts that would fit perfectly into that, then why not send them a message? If you have similar audiences or are looking to grow or are celebrating a milestone in your business, perhaps a number of followers, and you want to do a giveaway, then absolutely reach out and collaborate with other businesses if it's relevant for you both to do so. And the final part of this short session, thank you for bearing with it, is about using Instagram to showcase your products and services. Of course, you can absolutely use the feed and use the stories to show pictures of your products. Or if it's services, I would absolutely show yourself in action. Show behind the scenes, show where you work, what you're looking to achieve, what's inspiring you. There are lots of things that you can still use for imagery if you are offering a service rather than a product. Again, Martha Brooke London has stationery, so she is posting her stationery and what she's doing, what she's working on, what she's offering, what inspires her. Dishmatic is again a product, but we can see it in use, so it's inspiring people. And Emma talking about her mugs and behind the scenes. You can see there's a picture of her in there, so you can see her, and that she did a 10K giveaway as well. If it's a services account, I do have products myself in terms of books, but most of the time my business is me. I offer a service in terms of consulting and training. So I have a lot of pictures, which did take some getting used to. I will admit it's not always the easiest thing to do, but it's about a habit. It's about saying, I'm about to do a webinar or a live. Can I just get my husband to take a photo so that I can post it later to say, this is what I was doing today. This is what I was working on. This is a picture of me at my desk. When I'm training again in face-to-face environments, I will always try and take a picture of the screen or the location or where I'm at. Just not complicated, just a diary reminder so that people know where I am and what I'm doing and what I'm working on, so that I can stay visible. Staying visible consistently is so important. Inspiring people with your products, showing your products in use, whether that is in the home, whether it's the stationery on your desk, whether it's the mug when it arrives. People want to see not just beautiful shop window products, they want to see it in action. They want to see what that coffee cup will look like in your kitchen. They want to see how that plant will look like in your bathroom or your bedroom and your home. People want to see things in situ rather than just a beautifully crafted product shot. Okay, so use it as a place to inspire people. Show them how to use your product or your service, or how they can work with you. People are using Instagram for inspiration. They want to see themselves in it. You can, if you have set up and you have products and you have a shop, whether that is a Facebook shop or whether you're perhaps using a platform like Shopify. I'm not going to go into it in huge detail because that could be a whole training session in itself. But if you do have an online store, I would recommend that you set up Instagram shopping, because that will allow you to tag the products in your images so people can go straight through to your store to buy them. To activate that shop button, to get Instagram shopping set up, you do need to have at least 9 posts in your feed before you can begin. You do need to tag products, at least 2 tags in your posts for higher engagement. It's going to be very much about getting found in the feed and making sure that you have got your tags set up so people can see what they are and where to find them. Using stories, again, covered this in a previous webinar, and I think there are specific sessions on using Instagram stories, but it's a really great idea to try and integrate posts and stories together in your activity. If you've done a post, click the paper plane and it will allow you to share that as a story. So stories can drive people to your posts on Instagram, which drives people to your shop. Experiment. You could be posting single images, or you could be posting multiple images. So it's like a carousel when people are swiping. Just something to experiment with if you have various pictures of the same product that you want to show people. And do tag everything that you can to give people a clear call to action to buy. We're using this to grow our business. If we have a shop, we want to drive people to it, and Instagram shopping is a great piece of functionality to get set up to drive people to do that. Finally, selling your service. So Instagram shopping is great with products, but when you have a service to sell, think about perhaps, can you add some functionality? There are some buttons that you can add to your Instagram profile, such as scheduling to book an appointment, or if you're a restaurant, when we do reopen, open table can be linked so people can make a reservation. Or if you're hosting events, you can link with a button straight through to Eventbrite for people to make a registration. So if you're selling services, again, kind of showcase things, think about adding those buttons, and just get people to engage with you and see what you're offering. So we've covered a fair bit in here. I'm really sorry I'm not live to answer your questions, but please do put them in the comments and I will take a look at them. So to find new customers on Instagram, it's all about storytelling. Tell your business story in your own style, in your own words, in your own images. connect with customers, see them as building a community, talk to them like they're your friends, like you're having a cup of coffee with them, just telling people what you do, what you're up to, and respond to comments, DMs, any opportunity to start conversation. That's what you should be doing to put the social into social media. And use both your feed and stories to showcase your products and services, get people to want them, see how they work, see how they can fit into their own lives, tag them if you have shopping as a store, and good luck.